Breathe, Blaugrana. Welcome back to the Cooler Cast. I'm your host, Jude. Let's talk about this game. Barcelona fall 2-1 to Real Sociedad. Great win for La Real. Great victory for all those players on the team. First thing I got to do is commend them because they dug in and they dug deep and they suffered in this game and they pulled out an incredible victory. And I know Blaugrana, we're going to feel frustrated. We're going to feel annoyed. This is certainly one that we could have had and we should have had. I think La Real played the better game, certainly. They deserve to win this, but I don't think it was a bad game for Barcelona either. Certainly, there are going to be some things we need to look at in this game and say they could have done better in a lot of different ways. But overarchingly, I think one of the things that I've been very grateful for in this Hansi Flick era is I'm not as worried about this team when they lose as much as I used to be in the past. I don't know if it's because of the high line and the heart-racing way that they tend to play every single game that has just given me a sense of like calm with this team, but I think it's also just the confidence that I have in Hansi Flick and what I've seen from this team last season, to whether they're down in a game, come back, down in the league, come back, just like they're never quit attitude, and just the way to play. Again, we're not maybe what we want to hear right now in a loss, but like I do think that they are a good team, and I think that that's different from years past where I felt like they were an average to above average team that was squeaking by with better talent, but like their losses would really show how average of a team they are. I think this is opposite. I think every team gets got once in a while. They have been on an incredible win streak. It was going to be hard for them to keep on winning every single game. Like at some point they were going to drop points. And if they're going to drop points, I'm more happy that's in this kind of fashion where the opportunities were there. So let's talk about it. Olmo definitely is going to be looked at as culprit number one in this game. He had about 3 or 4 chances that you expect him to put away. It's not a given that any player should put those away. I mean, one of them was almost a tap in, but like a player of his quality, where his involvement in team is almost like a pseudo forward, where you expect him to finish chances and you expect him to produce goals, even though he's a midfielder. He certainly didn't do that today. I think probably his poorest game since he's been in a Barcelona, since he returned to a Barcelona shirt. I don't think it was the best game from him. I think Koundé should have finished that chance from that crossing from Cancelo. I mean, it was just one of those nights where things just didn't fall for them the way that it needed it to. And I mean, for that to hit the post and not go in, they had like 2 chances. I can't remember right now who the other one were, where it was a header, hits the post and stays out, where like so many times we've seen that hit the post and like go in just behind the line before bouncing out of the goal. No bounces went their way. Post was not their friend. Just a really, really hard game. Some highlights, we got to see Joao Cancelo be introduced in this game. I didn't think he played particularly well, but he did show what he can offer this team in some moments. Again, that cross into Koundé was excellent, and he had some other good service into the box. So I was really pleased to see that. Glad to see Rashford back on the score sheet. And I mean, you know, Lamine had his moments. He had a good game. had his moments. I would have liked to see a little bit more from him in that end period, that last 9 minutes of at a time. Um, I think some of the service there was really, really poor. I really did not like that shot he took when he cut in. Um, yeah, yeah, no, it's just it's a hard one to analyze because they played well and La Real played well too. And sometimes that's just how it goes. It's an incredible stadium to play in, incredible atmosphere, tremendous fans. It's a hard game, and you want them to win this. You expect them to win this, given how La Real has been performing this year. But um, hey, you gotta show up every game. If you want to win, you gotta show up every game because you're the top dog. You play the most attractive football in all of Europe. Everyone is gonna want to give you their best shot, and everyone's gonna want to take you down a peg. And although they missed Rafinha tonight, I don't think that that was enough for them to not be able to win this game. And I thought that the way they set up the team was um, great, great. I mean, like when I looked at it on paper, I was like, okay, I really like this. You have Olmo and Fermin playing in that triplet right behind Ferran Torres. I thought that that was going to make them a little bit dynamic, and it did. I don't think they got anything wrong with the setup of the team. Um, I think it's just one of those games. They just got. They just didn't have that little extra in them to claw back and find the second goal. I thought it was very, very poor of them to give away that second goal right after they just scored. You got to keep your head about you. Um, I also don't think, I have a hard time saying this because he's been the most informed goalkeeper in all of Europe, and I also don't think today is you can put it all on him. And even the goals that were scored, I can totally see it from his perspective. That first goal, I mean, he was just beating for pace. Like he gets a little bit on it, but I mean, he knows nothing about it. He's just positioning, reacting, and it just he gets beaten for pace, and you can't fault him for that. Second goal, I think he rushed out a little bit too far. I think he got a little bit overzealous in trying to like close that down, and they made him pay for it. Whereas you would have hoped he would have like stayed, trusted his defense, and just waited for the next ball to come in to make the save, so that he's not out of position for that. But again, I mean, great composure by Real Sociedad to score that second goal, and you would still just want to see Barcelona be able to find the second goal themselves and come back. So tough win, very important game coming up against Slavia Prague. They really have to win it. They're in a playoff spot right now, but they can't afford to have any more slip ups. And also, I think a chance for to not have to play in a playoff game is still possible, depending on how the table shakes out and if they do what they need to as far as like winning all their games. So yeah, very, very important matchup coming up. Not worried about this team. I think Hansi Flick always has the right mentality and knows how to react in those moments with his team and get them turned around and ready for the next game. I think they will be ready for the next game. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how they react and how they bounce back. I'm looking forward to seeing how Olmo reacts and bounce back. Last good thing I would say is it was good to see Rashford get on the score sheet. Again, I think he had sloppy moments, some things I'd like to see him do better, but I think at the end of the day, we need him to score goals. The assists are great, the trying to link up and all of that. Sure, if you're on, and that's good, but I think he is a goal-scoring threat, and he needs to, find his goal-scoring form again, and that would be the best thing that can happen for him in this team. So with that, biggest L of the day is clearly Dani Olmo. And And then my MVP for the game, I mean, it is Romero. He had a phenomenal game. I think Barcelona definitely helped them look a lot better than they should have by not finishing some of those opportunities. But I mean, hats off to him. No one else deserves the MVP. I'll give maybe a secondary silver ball to Takakubo because that was awful to see with the hamstring injury, and I think he's such a good player for such an underrated player in La Liga, and you hate to see him go down like that, and I wish him a very, very speedy recovery. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this game. Let me know what you think, Blaugrana. What did you think about this game? Do you put it all on Olmo? Who else did you think could have performed a little bit better? And what are you thinking the lineup should be for the next game? That's all for me. Breathe, take it easy. They'll be fine. I trust in Hansi, and I'll see you at the next game.